Judge's Corner is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com and GatheringMagic.com. Support our show by visiting both websites. Now it's time for Judge's Corner with David Green.
Welcome back to Judge's Corner. Today we're going to be talking about Spellskite and the ways that it works, and the ways that it doesn't work, and the ways that you think it works but it really doesn't, and the ways that you think it doesn't work but it really does. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So Spellskite is a 2-mana artifact creature with 0 power and 4 toughness. Its ability lets you change the target of any spell or ability to itself, acting as sort of a lightning rod at the cost of either 1 blue mana or 2 life per activation at any time. So for example, if I were to cast Lightning Bolt targeting my opponent's Melira, they could pay 2 life or 1 blue mana to change the target of that spell to Spellskite instead. The same is true for spells or abilities that don't just target one specific thing. Take Naturalize for example. I could attempt to destroy my opponent's Pyromancer's Ascension with Naturalize, but Spellskite could still target and redirect the spell to itself, even though we selected an enchantment with it. This is because Naturalize isn't a modal spell, so the choice isn't locked in for what we're destroying, unlike with Hullbreach. However, if Spellskite were not a legal target for the spell, perhaps because you targeted an erase, then the ability would fail to change the target to Spellskite, and erase would continue to target the original enchantment that you chose. But if Spellskite was a legal target for the spell you redirected, say you chose to redirect a hero's downfall to Spellskite, and you made it an illegal target after Spellskite's effect resolved, say by giving Spellskite protection from black via God's Willing, then it would still have already been redirected to Spellskite, and when the spell went to resolve, it would be countered by game rules for having an illegal target. Also, if Spellskite were the target of something that could target multiple things, like with Naturalize targeting a Birds of Paradise and an Eternal Witness each for 1 damage, you have the option of activating Spellskite to redirect one of those 2 targets to Spellskite. This is because once Spellskite becomes the target for the spell, it cannot become the target again for a different portion of that spell, unless it's worded where it doesn't require a different target, like with cards like Common Bond, which can target the same creature twice. Finally, just because you can't redirect some things doesn't mean that you still can't target any of the spells or abilities on the stack with Spellskite. You might be wondering why anyone would want to do this. Well, let's say I take control of you and your Spellskite with my Mindslaver. From there, I can put any spell or ability you have at your disposal on the stack, and then I can keep targeting it with Spellskite over and over until you're dead if you started out at an even life total, or until you get down to 1 life if you started out at an odd life total. This is because you can't pay any more life than you have for the cost of spells or abilities. So, if you're at 1 life, you couldn't continue to pay for Spellskite with the Phyrexian cost. Well, that's it for our episode. If you like this video or any of the other videos we produce, make sure to subscribe. And check out some of our other videos in our playlist for other rules questions that you may have. And if you have any specific questions of your own, make sure to send us an email at judgescorner@gatheringmagic.com. And until next time, make sure to shuffle thoroughly, play at a reasonable pace, and remember to protect Spellskite, because someday he might protect you too. Well, that's it for our episode. If you have any questions, make sure to, well, that's it. If you like this video or any of the other videos we make, remember to, well, that's it for our episode. If you like this video or any of the other content that we produce, make sure, well, that's it for our episode. If you like this video or any of the other content that we make, please remember to subscribe. And check out some of our older videos for other rules questions and stuff that we've already covered and topics we've already gone over. Until next time, make sure to shuffle thoroughly, play at a reasonable pace, and remember, Spellskite might say, I just botched that one to hell. Let's try that again.